Chapter 2 Kedarnath. People come to Kedarnath to seek atonement. Lord Shiva, who maintains the balance of the universe through death and destruction, is honored with many names. Here, he is Kedarnath, the Lord of the field where the crop of liberation from the cycles of birth and rebirth grows. As legends go, the Pandavas, 5 brothers who were cheated out of their rightful inheritance, fought a long and painful battle against their more powerful cousins. When they had killed their erring relatives and war was done, the Pandavas came to the Himalayas seeking Shiva, who had the power to absolve them of their sins. Shiva hid from them, taking the form of a bull and burying himself under the ground in these mountains. But the Pandavas found him and dug him out. Impressed by their dedication, it is said, Shiva absolved them of all their sins. I am hoping that the god of this mountain will absolve me of my sins. For 3 years I have wandered the streets of India with my many identities: murderer, thief, madman, beggar, renunciate. I have come here to put my identities to rest. A cannabis-smoking sadhu, renunciate, sent me here with wishes that I will find the right place to kill myself. I am seeking not only to escape from this life, but from rebirth. The wise ones tell us that life is suffering. Just when you think you have done with the pain, you are born into the next cycle of life. What you do in this lifetime decides what you become in your next life. There is always a next life. There is always suffering. I know that the part about suffering at least is true. When I arrive in Kedarnath in the last week of October, the temple is closed for winter. I am not here to worship at Kedarnath. I am here to find Bhairav Jump, the suicide spot which I was told would cut the umbilical cord that reconnects me to rebirth. I stand outside the closed temple doors and pray that the gods that hold the rosters of rebirth would be kinder to me in my next life. I pray that the deafening clamor inside me would quieten down before the end. Kedarnath is a small temple town in Garhwal Himalayas. The 1,000-year-old temple is the heart of this town. For 6 months of the year, from May to October, devotees throng this place. Hundreds of thousands of them seeking forgiveness for their sins, seeking hope. The buses stop a few miles down, and the last few steep miles up are done on foot, or donkeys that are drugged, overworked, half dead from exhaustion so they can carry people to salvation. What they did in their previous lives to earn their fate in this lifetime, no one knows. With the tourists come the businesses. People from the many towns down below set up shop in the town, setting up makeshift shops in spring which they disassemble in winter. For 6 months, nature is forgotten in the human melee of survival and greed. Then winter comes. Winters in the Garhwal Himalayan mountains are harsh. The roads leading to Kedarnath become inaccessible. When the snow falls, it falls incessantly. So people leave and take God with them to the town of Ukimat in the valley below. Then the mountain covers herself in her cold blanket of snow and goes to sleep. I walk around the nearly empty streets of Kedarnath on this late afternoon. A handful of last-minute stragglers are leaving town. They see me and bow in reverence. I suddenly remember that I am dressed in the saffron garb of a renunciate. I play the part one more time. I raise my hands and mutter a prayer that they will find their prosperity. When they leave, I laugh. The blind leads the blind. I, the one without direction, am blessing strangers that they will find theirs. My friend, the crazed sadhu, had told me that if it was my destiny, I would find the directions to Bhairav Jump. How, I do not know. Bhairav Jump is not a tourist spot. There are no signboards pointing the way. 100 years earlier, our colonial masters had outlawed the practice of suicide to escape rebirth at Bhairav Jump, and, as with many other things that suited their sensibilities, erased the history and the location of this spot from public memory. I pull my woolen blanket tighter around my body, but the bitter cold claws into my skin. I turn into a small by-lane near the temple. I see a tea shop. It is the only one where there is some movement. The tea shop, too, seems to be shutting down. I walk over.